Well, I got back to here.
All right.
What you gonna tell her?
So let's clap for math. Yay!
And he got to clap. That's what he just said.
Don't let them
Oh,
like that.
We're recording. Can we not talk about diseases?
Okay.
Okay. So
99.9.
Shut the hell up.
okay. So yesterday you figured out how to come up with an equation to find a term in the sequence. Now I'm going to teach you how to take all of the numbers and add them up and give me a total. So the equation I want you to focus on is this one here.
Girl, where did you even at?
It's underneath that big long example that we're not doing. Right here. We right in here. Right. Right. Okay. So this first number that's going to plug into your equation. This is the first term in your sequence. Whoops.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Oh, regular.
Like right now, we'll be on 10.
Yes. 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 So that's the first term in your sequence. This term that you're adding to it is the last term in my sequence. And your n value is the number of terms in your sequence. What does this even mean?
Also, I got the exclamation point in Spanish.
Well, yeah, I know that, but what does that even mean?
What exclamation point?
Obviously 400.
Oh, 400. That's whole time.
Erase that nonsense.
Erase that bullshit off the
Thank
board.
you.
We're talking about your bullshit.
Goodness gracious. All right.
We got something right with.
So, if you look at this sequence,
You're the first. Better than me for that pop. Look at me like I did something.
no. Okay. So, the numbers that they want me to add up. My first term is p sub 0. Well, what number is that? 25. It tells you right here. P sub 0 is 25. So that's the first term. My last term I'm trying to add together is p sub 100. Well, what value is that?
1725.
1725. So they want us to add 25 plus 1725. Here's my question though. How many numbers are in between p sub 0 and p sub 100?
100.
No.
99.
97,
98.
No.
100.
Why 101?
Oh, you count the last one, the first one, and everything.
Okay, so from 1 to 100 is 100 terms. But we start at 0. So there's technically 101 terms there. Okay, you will always get the number of terms if you take my last term is the 100th term minus my first term is the 0 term plus 1. And you will always get how many terms you have every time. So what place is my last term in? Minus the place that my first term is in, plus 1 every time. That works. So you would plug all this into the calculator the way you see it and divide by 2. You said what? 88,375. 88,375. If I add up all the numbers in that sequence, your total would be 88,375.
Why is it over 2
That's part of the formula. You cut it in half. formula is given to you on your final exam. Okay, this is one of the formulas that are given. So, this one, my first term is P sub 0. Well, that value is 700. Plus, my last term, they want me to add clear up to P sub 20, 560. Okay, again, my terms, my last term is in the 20th place. My first term is in the 0 place, plus 1. That means I have 21 numbers that I'm adding together. There are 21 numbers there that I'm adding together. So my end value is 21. What you looking for?
She's.
Oh. 'You got what? 13,230 is my total. Okay, be careful with part C. Bless you.
It's going by.
Okay, so they give you P sub 0 is 23, and they tell you that D is 7. They want us to add the 100th term clear up to the 999th term. Well, what's the 100th term? Can we find it?
Yeah.
Sure we can. What does my equation look like? Y equals
7x plus
23. So I need to plug in 100, which is 723. And then I also need to plug in 999 because that's my last term. 7,016. Okay.
Did someone just
Yeah,
fart?
bro.
That is best.
Dang.
I thought we were outside.
Yeah, you lost. So now that I have the terms that they want me to add together, that's 723 plus 7,016. Again, how many terms are between those two numbers? Well, 999 minus 100 plus 1. There are 900 terms. So we multiply that by 900 and then finally divide by 2. $3,482,550.
Wait,
So
so
I make a couple of like.
why did you subtract the 100 instead of subtracting like the 0?
Because the first term is P sub 100. Here, my first term was P sub 0. So you want to subtract place value minus place value plus 1. So because this one finishes at 999 and started at 100, that's why that's 100 and not 0. Okay.
Ms. Smith, what do you think you can fix my absence?
Fix what absence?
This one right now?
Well, not right now, like.
I can fix that before we leave today.
Oh.
Question. Okay. Okay. This one. We've got a new problem. Now they tell me I have 1,000 terms. They tell me what P sub 0 is, my first term, but they don't give me my number that I finish at. So all I know right now is I'm doing 5 plus, I don't know what this is. I know that I have 1,000 terms. I need to find this last term. Well, in order to do that, I need y equals. Y equals
7x.
7x. How did we get 7?
It's not much
Plus
of a
7
problem.
is
We're adding 7 each time.
plus 5.
Plus 5. That's my first term. Okay. So if I have 1,000 terms and I'm starting at 0, what is my final term actually? It's P sub what? No.
999.
999. Okay. So if there's 1,000 terms and I'm starting at 0, that means I'm trying to find P sub 9,000 or 999. So I'm actually plugging in 999 plus 5. 6,998 is my last term. Now that I have everything, I can finally solve.
Wait, so there's 1,000 terms. You're trying to find the last one.
Yes.
It'd be. You're not trying to find the whole thing. You're just trying to find the one.
All you need to find the sum using my formula is the first number in my sequence, the last number in my sequence, and how many numbers are in between. That's all I need. That's what I think this formula is a lot easier than some of the other ones. Okay? Same idea for this one. This time I have 200 terms. I know that P sub 0 is 5, but I need to find P sub what?
200.
No.
199.
199. Okay, if I have 200 terms, that means my last number is actually in the 199th spot. So we've got 5 plus, we don't know, times 200 divided by 2. My original equation, my y equals, is y equals what? What's my pattern? 11x plus 5. And I need to find the 199th term, so I'm plugging in 199. $2,194. $219,900.
I need to go buy icy hot.
You need to go buy what?
Icy hot. Yeah, I don't know what happened yesterday.
Questions when the last term's missing? The last set of examples that we need to do are ones that look like this. So, what do I know right now? What can I fill into this equation right now?
4
4
and 9.
922.
and 922. What don't I know?
Which one?
I don't know how much is there. Uh-oh. Okay. So, y equals.
It's going up by 4.
Going up by what?
Wait,
Nine.
what? 9.
It's going up by by 9.
My bad. Plus 4.
Okay. 9x plus 4. 9x plus 4. Okay. Well, we know this is P sub 0. We know this is P sub. Oh. How do I find that using y equals?
You flip it.
Where does 922 go into here?
Divide with
It goes into your y. So 922 equals 9x plus 4.
Minus 4.
Subtract 4 from both sides. 918 equals 9x.
Divide by 9.
Divide by 9.
102.
X equals 102. So this is P sub 102, which means I have how many terms?
103.
103. $47,689. Okay, the next ones are the same type of thing. So, A tells me my first number is 17, my last number is 1511. I don't know how many terms I have. So, in other words, to do this, we need y equals. What is my pattern here?
Plus 6.
Plus 6. So that makes this 6x plus 17. Oh, too far. Too far. Oh, you're fine. Oh, go on. Okay. Okay. So now we plug in 1511 for y and solve. Subtract 17 from both sides. 1494. Wow, my board is really off already.
240.
So I technically have 250 terms. $191,000. Okay. Try the next two on your own, and then we'll go over these. And then we've got 2-word problems. If you want to go ahead and try them, feel free to. If not, you can wait for me, and we'll talk about them. Got this. So proud. Kimberly's got some ruby red Crocs.
Yes, I do. I didn't feel like putting on socks. Mostly
Nah, I don't
because-
blame you.
Yeah.
I still have my blue nursing Crocs that I used to wear. But if I wear them without socks as I walk, it's like, it sounds like I'm farting as I'm walking. Pretty gross. So I'm wearing them very much.
Is it short?
Yeah, so if X is 149, how many terms you got? You did? Why do you always think you're wrong? That is the problem. Is y'all are scared of math.
It's called.
So every time you do something, you think it's wrong and it's not. Not always. And it's okay to be wrong. Because guess what? When you do it wrong, I can figure out why and we can fix it.
Oh.
So you've got all the right things going, you just plug it in. Careful. It's my last term, if I'm going from 0 to 149. How many terms do I actually have? That's what's gonna catch you.
That's good. I'm right.
It's gonna be easy.
I do. I'm right too.
Yes. Go, Isabel. Woo, woo. I'm coming. Here I come. Just be careful. If it's going from 0 to 149, how many terms do you actually have? Right.
Kimberly, I still can't believe you forgot.
Listen, my cat gave birth. This is a serious issue.
Unimportant.
I still can't get over it.
Come on.
And that's why I hope I get your cat back.
Oh, girl, but I know you didn't say that about my cat.
Okay, that's how I feel like when you said like I was praying for you.
I said, just kidding. But
Oh,
I'm
you
saying,
should have,
Your first
Because you said that faster.
your cat's gonna die first anyways.
My cat's not gonna die.
You want 8,000.
She a bad bitch.
Other than that, everything else is fine.
Finish. You're smooth. Easy. Easy.
You know, cat pregnancies last 60 to 67 days. I was just like, no.
Wait till the mic got screenshots.
Yes.
The second
You're
one.
Yes.
really trying to make Darlene
You
feel like
know what's good?
Oh, where?
like no the big because it Bree and the group of these screenshots.
Yes.
It's just dragging Darlene.
Woo!
But like
Yes.
it was between Alex
Is this all we have to
and
do?
there was
for
another
the
back. Here's look at this. And found like they weren't dragging
Yes.
because Darlene said
The fact that you were sitting here waiting for me to do it is not helping your case. You have got to try it on your own. Killing me. I can sit here and just tell you in the face. It's not gonna fix
Well,
me.
I was at school and I heard different things.
You were wrong.
And don't mind that. Anyways, Alex doesn't even associate. Okay. Exactly. And then he also tried to say, "Sweetie, you're on the internet." When it was speech. And then Alex, yeah.
It's what it's increasing.
And then Chris went in, and so and then he was said, Alex has said something before, but
What's your first number?
I heard all this said something about how being a genius.
That are just like this.
He deleted all his comments. He
Don't
just-
worry about the word problems. If you don't got the word problems, we can talk about those.
And then he deleted his story too.
Who else needs checked?
He said this at first on his story.
Hi.
Like nobody came for you, so you came at us first. So we're coming back at you. And then he said this because.
Hi, friend. My sleepy friend. There you go, baby doll. Now you just have to figure out where is this number? At what spot is this
I
number?
was
You need your
just
Y
calling. I
equals.
also be like, okay, what's your college?
Why
student?
do you
Are you in high school?
If I'm going from this number to this number.
It's like you go to a boy and girl college.
No, but you be trying
Yeah,
to do
so it's a negative.
I know.
It goes down by what?
I know. You know what? If he types something on your comment, I'm gonna just go.
13. So negative 13x
Because that one public
plus
when you posted about
for
Pembroke,
the first time.
I was gonna say something, but I was like, you know what?
So now you want to plug this in for y. For x.
He is a relevant person in our high school.
Yeah, I was like, bring you a grown man.
Couple more minutes and I'm gonna put these up.
I'm not even a teenager. Right. I, like, when it was his birthday, I made fun of him. I was like, you can't have a teenager to work tonight.
It needs to be 3:30. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Dang.
I want to leave early.
Alright, I lied. I'm gonna put these up now so we can get this test out to y'all. So my first term here is 8,012. My second term here is 6,075. You should have had 150 terms divided by 2. 1,056,525 was your sum for that one. Okay, because your y equals equation should have been y equals negative 13x plus 8,012. And that's how you found your 150. Because when you plugged in for y, your x came out to be 149, which means you have 150 terms. That's what's going to catch some of you. So please pay attention to that. Okay, this last one goes from 6 to 363, and there were 18 terms here. So 3,321 was my total, and you would have used y equals 21x plus 6 to find how many terms you had in that one.
Miss Smith, I got a question.
Yes.
You know how you did this one with the 100 minus 199?
Mm-hmm.
Is there gonna be questions like that, or is it just gonna be the piece of 0 minus the last?
There's a mixture on your test. There's like one of each. Yes.
I gotta look at that so I'm gonna get sure.
Well, it's take home. So you've got your notes flat out in front of your face. You just have to decide which one's which so you can do it. Okay.
So this is not part of the test. So
Yes.
This is.
How many times do I gotta say that?
Good thing we didn't have it in class.
Okay. These last ones. Word problems. An auditorium has 20 total rows of seats. The first row has 20 seats. The second row has 21. The third row has 22, and so on. So that means we go 20, 21, 22. What is the seating capacity of the auditorium? So they want the total amount of seats. So we need to use our sum formula. What plugs in?
20.
20. What else do I know?
That's it.
I know something else.
The last 20.
I know what? No. What she was saying. Huh? No, not 22.
21. Another 20.
This is my first number. I don't know my last number, but I do know how many rows I have.
That's what I'm saying. I was saying 20.
I have 20 rows.
I'm saying 20 like, I don't know.
20 rows.
Wait, so you don't have to add 20, you don't have to add 1?
No, not when they tell you how many rows you have.
So it'd be something 19.
So here we would plug in 19 into y equals to figure out what that last term is. So y equals, what's my pattern?
30.
1x. So I can just put x plus 20. Okay, and again, because there's 20 rows, that means it goes from p sub 0 to p sub 19. So I'm plugging in 19 here, which means my last row has 39 seats.
Oh, one question I've been meaning to ask. So
Yes.
you already found out how many total terms there are.
Mm-hmm.
So is the 20 plus 39 times 20 divided into like the overall amount?
Yes, how many seats are in that auditorium? So if I went through, if I walked into this auditorium right now and went and sat there and went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, it would give me the total amount of seats. This does it for you. 590 seats in this auditorium. But it's a lot easier to use this formula than to sit there and count every seat. This wouldn't work in our auditorium though, because every row has the same amount of seats.
Are you sure?
It doesn't narrow down.
How you
Yes,
got
it does.
it?
The sides don't have the same amount of seats as
Are
the
you
middle.
sure about that?
But like, if you're in the middle and you're counting the row seats in the middle, like this row has 20 seats, this row has 20 seats, this row has 20 seats, it doesn't narrow down or go up.
Are you sure about
I'm positive about that.
that?
She says, are you sure about that? Okay, a small business sells $1,000 worth of products during its first year. The owner has a set annual goal of increased sales for $7,500 for 19 years. Assuming the goal is met, find the total sales during the first 20 years of business. So I'm trying to find total. When they ask for total, that means sum. This means sum. So that tells me I've got to use this formula. What can I fill in right now? What do I know? 10,000, where's that go?
Right there.
Here?
Yeah.
She says right there. Okay, so I know that. What else can I fill into this equation right now?
The 20 years.
20 years. What I don't know is how much they made in the last year. So I need y equals. What does y equal?
19. No, I think.
What's it increasing by or decreasing by? 7,500. So that's my slope. Plus,
19.
no,
10,000.
10,000. You just told me I started 10,000.
I just.
Silly girl. You're just throwing out numbers. Okay, so if I have 20 terms, what am I actually plugging in for x?
19.
19. Ooh, smart girl.
Mm. 14250.
1, 4, you said what?
25. And a bunch of zeros.
And a bunch of zeros.
1, 2. Yeah,
How did you get that? Are you sure?
yeah.
I got it. Am I true?
Listen, she forgot the plus sign.
Oh,
She forgot the plus sign.
that's funny. Oh, so I'm multiplying by 2.
Yes. 152500.
15250.
Can't trust Ashley.
Right.
Shut the hell up.
Can't trust Ashley.
Get out.
Bitch, wait a minute.
Oh, you lucky that your thing is on.
Oh, what?
Chill.
Y'all be
You think
cursing
I
either
care?
way.
Right.
You think I care?
You shut up.
Okay. So
They probably say.
I'm over you all.
Thank you.
So when I do this in 20 years, their grand total is $1,625,000. It's more money than I'll ever see in my life. Okay.
I mean, you see it right now.
Questions? Problems? Actual cash?
So we're gonna go get this and then
No.
you never know, you might win the lottery.